Mike Catalana, Wham 13 sports director here in Rochester. I'm not going to pretend like I watch the Amerks every day. You're a guy who sees a lot more of them than I ever will. Today wasn't a good indication of what this team really is, right?
No, they didn't play well Saturday in Syracuse by all indications. That was one of their worst games of the year. And they were coming off a win. We did the game on MSG on Friday, and they really took off in the third period and played well. Tonight, not so much. And I know Chris Taylor not happy with what he saw out of his team tonight in this game, and now they go on the road for a few, so they're going to have to change things up pretty quickly.
What is this team? Are they a real bona fide AHL contender? You've seen good teams and bad teams come through here in Rochester.
Well, we have not seen quality hockey in Rochester for a while. I think what you have is a few, certainly top Sabres prospects. You have some really good American Hockey League veterans, especially some of the guys who came from Wilkes-Barre Scranton. And then you got some guys that they're going to have to make decisions on, guys who people thought for a while were Sabres prospects that I don't know if they are anymore. So the trade deadline is going to be interesting. What the Sabres do, where some of these guys end up, and then we'll see what kind of team they have the rest of the way.
I want to see what Brendan Gooley does after an impressive performance the other night. This wasn't his best game, but like we just talked about, you see flashes with him.
Well, you always do, and he's got that speed and that ability, and it's what he brought back up to Buffalo. And I think the good thing is they have a plan for him. They keep talking about that. He knows the plan. He goes up there, he plays, he comes back. He tries to maintain where he's going to play the same here as he does there. And he just talked, when we talked to him, he said, you know, when I see opportunities, I'm going to take them. Well, the assumption would be he'd have more opportunities here than he will when he's playing in Buffalo. But in today's game, I thought he gave the puck up a little more than he normally does. I thought he was a little bit off, which made him like most of the rest of the Amerks in this one.
3-on-3 overtime, you would imagine you would see the 8th overall pick, Alex Nylander, on the ice at some point, but you don't. He's glued to the bench. What's going on with him?
I don't know. Again, he's a guy skill-wise, I think people see flashes in. I think many people thought he was going to maybe dominate more at the juniors than he did. And I know a lot of thought was that he was going to come back year two. I think he was the youngest guy in the AHL a year ago. Come back year two, be bigger, stronger, a little more physical, maybe take some of the traits that his brother took on when he made that jump into the second year of the pros. They haven't seen that yet. And one thing you say about Chris Taylor, he's not just putting somebody on the ice. They're going to earn their spot, and they'll earn their spot when they go to Buffalo. And I don't think he's done that at the moment.
Last thing, what should the people in Buffalo know about this team? Because we don't get to see them very often.
Well, I'll say one thing is they are winning, and they are chasing Toronto for first place, and they are worth your time to come down to see them play, whether it's to see Linus Ullmark, whether it's to see Gooley play full-time, whether it's to see whether some of these other guys have anything. And there are some hard-working, quality American Hockey League guys who have won at this level in the league. And maybe for Amerks fans, they'll get an opportunity to see playoff hockey again. As you know, it doesn't look like we're going to see that in the NHL this year. But you come down here, you will usually see a highly competitive game. And if you watched the game today, probably more highlights than you would have seen from this one. This was down a little bit. Great goaltending, not as much offense, but they're a team worth watching.
He's not wrong. Linus Ullmark was unbelievable once again. Mike Catalana, the best in the business. Thank you for doing this.
No
if you live in Rochester, watch him because, you probably already do if you live in Rochester.
I've been here 100 years.